Here's something most people realize too late. Your salary is designed to keep you functional, not free. You can make 6 figures and still live paycheck to paycheck. That's not a personal failure, it's structural. The system rewards ownership, not effort. Look at the Forbes list. You won't find hardest worker or most hours logged. You'll find founders, investors, landlords, people who own things that generate value while they sleep. Jeff Bezos didn't get rich because Amazon paid him well. He got rich because he owned Amazon. The trap is believing income equals wealth. It doesn't. Income is what you trade your time for. Wealth is what works without you. When you depend entirely on your next paycheck to cover your next bill, you're not building wealth, you're renting your life from your employer. The shift happens when you stop asking, how do I make more? And start asking, what do I own? Own skills that scale, assets that appreciate, and systems that generate cash flow. Until you own something, you're owned by something. Your rent, your car payment, your credit card balance. That's the cycle. And breaking it starts with understanding that salary alone will never be enough. Discipline fails because it requires constant decision-making. Every day you're choosing between saving and spending, investing and delaying. That's exhausting. Systems win because they remove the choice entirely. The wealthiest people don't have better willpower, they have better structures. They automate, they allocate, they decide once and let the system run. That's what the 20-60-10-10 rule does. It's not about earning more right now, it's about directing what you already have with precision. Here's the breakdown. 20% goes to growth, investments, skills, assets that multiply. 10% goes to stability, your emergency buffer, your protection against chaos. 60% covers essentials, the real costs of living, not the inflated ones. And 10% is for enjoyment, guilt-free spending that keeps you sane. This works on $2,000 a month and on $10,000 a month either. The percentages scale, but the structure stays. Most people do the opposite. They spend first, save what's left, and never invest. This flips that. You pay your future first, protect yourself second, live third, enjoy fourth. It's not restrictive, it's intentional. This is where wealth gets built, not through your job, through what your money does after you earn it. The 20% allocated to growth is the difference between working until you're 70 and having options at 50. Pay yourself first. That's an operational strategy. If you wait until the end of the month to invest what's left over, nothing will be left over. We expand spending to fill available resources. The only way to break that is to remove the money before you can spend it. Automate a transfer the day your income hits. Make investing the default, not the afterthought. Time beats amount every single time. A 25-year-old investing $500 monthly until 35, then stopping, will have more at 65 than someone who starts at 35 and invests $500 monthly until 65. That's compounding. Starting now, even small, matters more than waiting to invest big. Now, where that 20% actually goes. This isn't about picking the perfect stock or timing the market. It's about building a diversified foundation across what I call the risk ladder. Starting safe, adding exposure as you grow. Start with high-yield savings accounts and government bonds. Boring, but they protect capital while earning more than traditional savings. Low risk, low return, high liquidity. When you're beginning, preservation matters as much as growth. Next, broad market exposure through index funds and ETFs. This is where most people should park the majority of their growth allocation. You're buying the entire market, not betting on individual companies. The S&P 500 has averaged around 10% annually over the long term. You're not trying to beat the market, you're trying to match it consistently. But here's where it gets interesting. The highest ROI investment isn't financial, it's yourself. High-income skills are the fastest wealth accelerator available. Learn copywriting, sales, coding, video editing, digital marketing. A $2,000 course that increases your earning potential by $20,000 annually is a 10 times return in year one. No stock does that reliably. Then there's real estate exposure through real estate investment trusts. You own property portfolios with the price of a single share. You get dividends from rent and potential appreciation without being a landlord. It's passive, liquid, and diversified. Stocks come next, but not day trading or chasing meme stocks. You're buying ownership in companies you understand and believe will exist in 20 years. Think boring. Utilities, consumer staples, healthcare. Diversify across sectors. Hold through downturns. Wealth is built by time in the market, not timing it. For those with high risk tolerance and a solid financial base, online businesses and scalable income streams offer asymmetric upside. A digital product, a service business, content creation, income not tied to your hours. But build your foundation first. Finally, alternative assets, Bitcoin, gold, collectibles, high volatility, high knowledge requirement. Don't invest in what you don't understand. If you can't explain why an asset has value, you're speculating, not investing. Before we go further, if you are enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel and tells YouTube that you're interested in this kind of content. Now let's continue. The smartest investment strategy fails if you don't execute it. Execution isn't about intelligence, it's about removing friction. That's why automation matters more than knowledge. Set up a monthly transfer the day your income hits your account. Not when you remember or when you feel motivated. Automatically. The money moves from checking to investment accounts before you see it, before you mentally allocate it elsewhere. But transferring isn't investing. Cash sitting in a brokerage account earning nothing is wasted potential. The transfer should trigger the purchase. Index funds, ETFs, whatever your strategy is. Automate the entire process. Income arrives, money moves, assets purchased. Now focus on the real lever, earning more. Wealthy people don't obsess over saving an extra 2%. They obsess over increasing income by 20%, 50%, 100%. Learn higher value skills, negotiate raises, build side income, scale your contributions over time. A disciplined system on $4,000 a month is good. The same system on $8,000 a month changes your life. Most people think they have a money problem. They don't. They have a stability problem. One car repair becomes a credit card balance. One medical bill derails 6 months of progress. It's not that they're bad with money, it's that they're one emergency away from financial collapse. That's what the first 10% solves. This isn't an investment. It's not supposed to grow aggressively. It's protection. It's the buffer that prevents you from liquidating your growth assets at the worst possible time. When the market drops 30% and you need $3,000 for an emergency, you're not forced to sell at a loss. You pull from stability. Here's how to calculate it. Add up your monthly essential expense. Rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, minimum debt payments. Multiply that by 5 or 6. That's your target. If you spend $2,500 a month on essentials, you need $12,500 to $15,000 sitting in this fund. Where do you keep it? Somewhere with immediate liquidity, zero volatility, and a small but reliable yield. High-yield savings accounts are ideal. You're earning 4% to 5% right now, in many cases, which at least keeps pace with inflation. Money market funds work too. The point is accessibility without risk. Building this takes time, and that's fine. Automate small transfers. Even $100 or $200 monthly adds up. But here's the critical rule. The moment you use this fund, you replenish it immediately. Treat it like a loan to yourself that gets paid back before anything else. Some people use micro-saving tools that round up purchases to the nearest dollar and deposit the difference. It's passive, painless, and surprisingly effective over time. This fund won't make you rich, but it will keep you from going broke when life happens. And life always happens. This is where most people lose the game without realizing they're playing it. They get a raise and immediately upgrade their apartment. They finance a nicer car because they deserve it. Income goes up, lifestyle goes up, and somehow they're still stressed about money. That's lifestyle inflation, the silent wealth killer. Looking rich and being wealthy are opposites. One is about appearance, the other is about options. The person driving the leased BMW with $400 in their savings account isn't winning. They're performing. And performance is expensive. The 60% rule forces clarity. What are true essentials? Housing, food, transportation, utilities, insurance? That's it. Everything else is a luxury disguised as a necessity. You don't need the premium cable package. You don't need the brand name groceries. You definitely don't need a car payment that eats 20% of your income. Living below your means isn't deprivation, it's strategy. When you cap essentials at 60%, you're forced to make smarter decisions. You start asking, do I need a bigger place, or do I want to impress people I don't like? That shift from spending mindset to earning mindset changes everything. The two biggest wealth killers are housing and transportation. People stretch for the maximum mortgage they qualify for, then complain they can't save. They finance cars they can't afford because monthly payments feel manageable until they're trapped in them for 6 years. Let's be specific. If you make $5,000 a month, your essentials cap is $3,000. If your rent is $1,800 and your car payment is $500, you've already used 77% of your essential budget before food, utilities, and insurance. You're not building wealth, you're servicing lifestyle debt. Here's how you cut without sacrificing quality of life. Downsize strategically. A smaller apartment in the same area costs less and forces you to own less. Use transportation alternatives. Buy a reliable used car instead of financing new. A $12,000 used Toyota will last a decade. A $40,000 financed SUV will cost you $50,000 plus with interest and keep you broke. The long-term impact of fixed costs is brutal. A $400 monthly car payment over 10 years is $48,000. Invested at 8% annual return, that's $73,000. You're not choosing between a nice car and a boring car. You're choosing between a car and financial freedom. Systems beat willpower here too. Set spending rules. Wait 48 hours before any non-essential purchase over $100. Use cash for discretionary spending. It's psychologically harder to part with. Build intentional purchasing frameworks. I only buy this if I've wanted it for 30 days and it replaces something I already own. The goal isn't to live like you're broke when you're not. It's to live like someone who understands that every dollar spent on ego is a dollar stolen from freedom. Here's what happens when you cut too hard. You burn out, break the system, and binge spend out of resentment. Extreme restriction doesn't build wealth, it builds emotional backlash. That's why the final 10% exists. It's not a reward for good behavior, it's structural sustainability. This is your fun fund. A separate account, ideally, so it's psychologically distinct from everything else. It's a fixed percentage, not a fixed amount. So as your income grows, so does your guilt-free spending. You use this for whatever brings you joy. Concerts, dining out, hobbies, travel. No justification required, no guilt attached. But here's the nuance. Experiences outlast objects. A dinner with friends creates memories. A new gadget creates clutter. The dopamine hit from buying something fades in days. The story from a weekend trip lasts years. This isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about making pleasure intentional. When you know you have 10% allocated purely for enjoyment, you stop feeling guilty about spending it. And when you stop feeling guilty, you stop compensating with impulsive purchases that aren't even satisfying. You spend less overall because you're spending deliberately. You grow. The 20% compounds. Your skills multiply your income. Your assets appreciate. Every month, you're building momentum that doesn't require your constant attention. You're protected. The 10% stability fund means emergencies don't destroy progress. A broken laptop or unexpected bill is an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. You don't spiral into debt because life happened. You stay consistent. The system is sustainable because it's not built on deprivation. The 10% enjoyment allocation keeps you sane. You're not white-knuckling through life waiting for some distant future freedom. You're living now while building for later. You build wealth quietly. There's no need to impress anyone. No financed luxury to prove success. Wealth isn't about appearance. It's about options. The freedom to say no, the ability to take risks, the choice to work because you want to, not because you have to. That's what this system creates. Not overnight, not dramatically, but inevitably. Follow it daily, and staying broke becomes impossible. If this video helped you somehow, take a second to hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you're ready to make decisions that actually compound, subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.